Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. Now today I'm going to continue with part 2 of my Polish police ration. If you missed part 1 where I did the opening and ate the breakfast components, please go back and check that one out first. But this one I'm going to take a look at their lunch and dinner components. So let's get this out on a tray and see what they look and taste like. And welcome back to part 2 of this Polish police 24-hour ration. And to save a little time, I've got the contents of the dinner components as suggested on the front label out on the tray. And for the dinner components, it suggests we have the lasagna, which I've been boiling for 10 to 15 minutes. We'll take a look at one of the other fruit battens. There is some crisp breads. There is a coffee candy. And the only drinks in this pack was the instant teas. In part 1 I made this with hot water, so in this one, part 2, I'm going to use the second one and make it with cold water. So I'm going to start with the drinks. I'm just bringing my friend to cut across the top there. So that in this pack, if you watch part 1, there was just 3 of these instant teas, one for each meal. So it's just a simple fine powder. And I'm going to need to open one of the spoons that came in the pack. There was 2 spoons for the lunch and dinner, but I will only be opening one, so it is a reasonably strong, decent spoon, and a very large napkin or stroke TP, whichever the need first arises. So very large. See how big it is. It's still going and going. Very large napkin. Put that to one side. So, using the spoon, we should just give this a full glass of water. Give that a nice mix. Takes a little bit longer to dissolve the sugar, obviously, when using the cold water. That's to one side. Moving along, we need to have a look at these cracker breads or crisp breads. Bring in my old friend again just to help slit across the top there. As in part 1, we've said this is still in date, so I'm expecting everything to be really good, so I'll just take out some of the crisp bread. This is really light crisp bread. There is 7 in the packet. I just took out 2 or 3. Then need to have a look at this fruit cereal bar. So it's another compressed fruit or cereal bar. Again, just bringing my friend. Like the other cereal bars, it looks like there is a rice paper backing. It's quite well sealed, so there is a little paper backing to stop me getting sticky. Last but not least, we've got the coffee candy. I've seen these many times. These are in nearly all the Polish rations. Salt and pepper on standby. Now it's time to have a look at the lasagna. Just move the bowl to one side while I crack this open. There's a nice smell emanating from there. So, a nice looking lasagna there, and because I have and because I can, I'm going to decant that into a bowl. So it is, there is the pasta sheets. It looks more like a ravioli than a lasagna. Lasagna sheets are quite small. Got the hands. So we'll start where I normally like to start, and that is with the drinks. So as we say, it's just the instant tea. This particular one is lemon. It has a very delicate lemon flavour in the background. It don't seem as sweet as when you make it with the hot water. Obviously the sugar is not dissolved as much. But it is a light, refreshing, lemon flavoured, lemon scented cold drink. Doesn't taste of tea, it is just predominantly lemon, but obviously it has a brown tinge looking like it's a tea. But it is very refreshing, very enjoyable. I'm going to go straight to the mains. So this is the lasagna, 400 grams. So the lasagna sheets are cut into little squares. As you know, normally they're whole sheets. So it looks like a ravioli, but it's not. So I'm going to try some straight off with the beef there, the meat. It's salted, it's peppered. There is a very delicate tomato base with the meat. The pasta is overcooked. It's beyond al dente, just done. It's quite soft. Dissolves in your mouth the moment you put it in your mouth. There is a lot of pasta. The main seasoning I think is black pepper. There's certainly black pepper showing through. Delicately seasoned. The mince or ground beef is very fine. It looks like there's little bits of chopped pepper in there also. But it's certainly minced beef. It's tasty. It's rich. It's filling. It's enjoyable. Not normally associated with lasagna, but a little bit of hot sauce would be great, just to add a little extra dimension. But saying that, it is a good bowl of tasty, enjoyable pasta. So I'm going to enjoy finishing that for my brunch, late breakfast, early lunch. Moving along, I think I'll have a look at the crisp bread first before I try the fruit. So we have the crisp bread, nice light snap, very crispy. Very light. It looks like it's a dark flour, wholemeal flour, as opposed to white, but you cannot taste that. Very nice, enjoyable, light, crispy bread. Obviously meant to be added to the pasta, but there is a lot of carbs in that pasta already. But it does add a little bit of extra crunch, a few more calories, but I don't think it's really needed with a 400 gram portion of pasta. But there is more calories. And just adds a little extra crunch to the main meal. I'll press my palate one more time. Moving along to this fruit bar. So it's a little compressed fruit bar. Looks like it's compressed dates. That looks like cranberry, date. Very sweet. Very sweet, but naturally sweet. As in, it's the natural sugars within the fruit. Doesn't feel like there's any extra sweetness added. It is, just as it looks, a compressed bar of dates, cranberries, probably raisins. Tastes accordingly. It's a good sweet. We call energy kick. Don't need the salt and pepper in this instance. Refresh my palate one more time before we have a look at this coffee candy. So it's a hard, sweet, hard candy. I've had these many times before. They are found in the Polish military rations. They're a good quality candy. I don't usually like coffee flavoured candies or sweets, but I do actually like these. There is a strong coffee flavour. It's a hard candy, hard sweet. You need good strong teeth to bite through it. It's the sort that you're supposed to pop in your mouth and just suck until it's dissolved for a good 20 minutes. That said, there was a lot of flavour, a lot of coffee flavour going on, and it certainly wouldn't actually run out. So just need to remove that from my mouth while I finish talking. So, didn't need the wet nap. Seen in the part 1 breakfast, they're just a very thin paper based wet nap with a lemon scent. Reminds you of a kitchen cleaner, lemon scented. Not the best out there, but there are something just to wipe over your hands before you eat your meal. So overall, a basic but filling and enjoyable lunch. So join me in a couple of seconds where we take a look at the dinner components, or the third and final meal. See you in a couple of moments. And welcome back to this third or final meal from this Polish police 24-hour ration, and the final meal is taken from their suggestion, their supper suggestion or evening meal, which came on the bag, and that actually is the Mexican chicken with rice, pumpernickel bread, some honey, and it does also recommend the other instant tea. I've already had 2 of these instant teas. They're exactly the same, they're both lemon. In the breakfast I had the water hot, in the lunch I had it cold, so I'm going to forgo that this time. I've already tested that and just have a water to cleanse the palate. So let's just pour myself a quick water. Likewise, the pumpernickel bread did come with 2. I had one and opened it for the breakfast in the first video, so I'm going to use the remainder of that rather than open the second, but as you can see they're both identical. So apart from that, we need to just open the mains and the honey, so we shall start with the honey. So just peel that back. So this is a set crystalline honey. I think I've had these before. Sometimes they're crystalline, sometimes they're liquid, but today it's quite cool. That's crystalline. I've had this rice boiling for about 15 minutes to simulate being in the flameless ration heater. So I just need to crack open that box. Be careful not to let the pressure go and explode. So this is, I'm just checking the name, it's chicken in Mexican sauce with white rice. Peel it open carefully. Try and avoid any mishaps and spillages. There we go. And because this is already in a dish this time, I'm going to leave that in a dish and not do my usual decant into a white bowl. Just wipe my hands there. This pumpernickel bread, this is a type of rye bread. I have some from my breakfast. So there is 2 pieces of thin rye type pumpernickel bread. So there's not a lot. I also have a gum. Again, I did do this in the breakfast, but I'll show you in this video also. So really we've just got to go straight for the mains. This is the third and final meal. So we have the white rice and the chicken in Mexican sauce. So there is lumps of chicken. I can see red kidney beans and obviously some little bit of sweet corn. But I'm going to start first of all with a little bit of the rice. So it's just plain, simple white rice. That's nicely cooked. Slightly more than al dente, but it's not soggy, it's not sticky, and it's 3-grained rice, but it is just that plain, simple white rice. Very good, very tasty. Let's have a look now at this Mexican chicken. Just try some of the sauce first. Again, it's surprisingly sweet, almost like a sweet and sour. There's not a lot of spice there. I thought there might be more chili in there, but it's very, very delicate. Plenty of salt, plenty of pepper, plenty of flavour, but there's a lot of sugar. There's a piece of the chicken there. Looks like a piece of the dark leg meat. The chicken is cooked. Chicken is cooked, but it's the dark leg meat. You do need teeth to eat it, but it is still soft. There is the kidney beans. They're well cooked, not soggy. Obviously, the juice is meant to go in with the rice. So I just mix a little bit in with the dry rice. There's quite a lot of liquid, making it very, very wet. More than enough to give that rice some moisture. So there's a little bit of the rice now. It's sweet, it's rich, it's tasty. There isn't any chili kick at all. This is mainly a sweet sauce. Plenty of liquid to moisten that rice. It is a good all-round combination. The pumpernickel bread is very thin, compressed grains. I think it's rye. It might be a form of buckwheat or bulgur wheat. Not sure. I think it's probably rye. Obviously, you can use it as a little bit of an extra bulking agent with the rice. Likewise, you could just use it in the sauce to moisten the bread. It's malty, it's chewy, it's dry, certainly needs some moisture. Personally though, I think it would go better with this set honey. I think I'm going to need to bring in another spoon, you know, the USMRE spoon. This honey is very set, very set, totally crystalline. Good tasting honey. You can taste the nectar where the bees have been visiting. It's a little bit difficult to get to sit on the pumpernickel bread because it is so crystalline. But for me, that is the better way of eating it, on the pumpernickel bread rather than the pumpernickel in the mains. Very dry, very thirst provoking. Pumpernickel. Don't need the salt or black pepper, it is seasoned and sweetened enough. Last but not least, we saw this in the breakfast video, but I should do one again. There's 3 lots of xylitol gum. This is a good quality mouth cleansing gum. 1 briquette. I'm having difficulty getting this out because my fingers are a little bit sticky, but we have 1 briquette. Great flavour, crispy shell, firm gum, a lot of mint oils. Meant to be a teeth cleanser as well as a mouth freshener. Certainly does both. Plenty of oils, plenty of mint to season your breath after a slightly spicy main dish. So that is the contents of the 24-hour police ration, Polish police ration. Overall, good quality contents, good quality meals. Not as many calories as you find in the Polish military, but that makes sense. The old troops need 1,000 or more calories than the average police officer. So, a good, interesting, tasty 24-hour meal pack. So I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe and hit that notification button for future videos coming very soon. So thank you and goodbye.